Hey there, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to look at the following WWE news and rumors. Rey Mysterio sends a clear message to fans that want him to face his son. WWE Hall of Famer reveals that there is more to Alexa Bliss's character. And we are going to look at all the surprises rumored to happen on this week's episode of SmackDown. Be sure to stick around until the end to find out on all the surprises. Before we get into it, be sure to drop a like and subscribe for daily wrestling content. The next episode of WWE SmackDown is definitely going to be one to watch out for. The company is getting ready to go on the road again, which means that we need to gear up for surprises galore. A few of them could happen on WWE SmackDown this week to set the stage for Money in the Bank and beyond. Raw wasn't the worst episode this week, meaning that the creative team is ready to fire on all cylinders considering the stakes involved over the coming months. So, with that said, here are 5 surprises that could potentially happen on WWE SmackDown this week. Be sure to weigh in and let us know if you think one or more of these surprises could potentially happen. Number 5. Big E confronts Roman Reigns on WWE SmackDown and refuses to acknowledge him. When Big E branched out on his own, Roman Reigns vs. the former New Day member was a match that fantasy bookers all yearned for. Because neither Rey Mysterio nor Dominic look healthy enough to renew their rivalry with Reigns on WWE SmackDown, it's time for a brand new challenger to emerge. Big E fits the bill completely and could go to war with Roman Reigns. Let's just say that there won't be too many flips or top rope maneuvers when Big E and the Tribal Chief go to battle. These are 2 of WWE SmackDown's top powerhouses. Fists will fly and the canvas will reverberate with slams. Could Big E come out to interrupt Roman Reigns' opening promo and announce to him that he wants to wrest the Universal Championship away from him? This feud could put Big E on the map as a top WWE SmackDown star in the main event picture. Number 4. Sasha Banks confronts the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion. WWE SmackDown really needs its former Women's Champion to bolster the division once more, especially after the spectacularly talented Ruby Riott was recently released, significantly weakening the current women's division. Where is Sasha Banks now? She's been on a leave of absence since WrestleMania, watching Bayley mix it up with the woman who took the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship from her, Bianca Belair. But it may be time for her to return and remind the world exactly who she is. Number 3. Sami Zayn turns face following his big win. The fact that he picked up a massive victory at Hell in a Cell could imply that there's something in the works for Sami Zayn with regard to the Intercontinental Championship picture. The only issue is that he's a heel and so is Apollo Crews. But because WWE SmackDown needs babyfaces so desperately, could Zayn turn face? It potentially allows Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to team up again at some point, when Zayn's fellow Canadian returns. Number 2. Liv Morgan and Carmella are forced to team up. Carmella and Liv Morgan have been at odds on WWE SmackDown in a strange feud to determine who is better looking, but as we saw on Raw, unlikely allies may have to team up to determine who qualifies for Money in the Bank. Could Carmella and Liv Morgan be forced to put aside their differences and work as a cohesive unit? Can they coexist, or will they implode in the middle of the match? Number 1. Karrion Kross makes his WWE SmackDown debut. Karrion Kross was spotted backstage at WWE SmackDown recently. Is this a prelude to him showing up and mixing it up with the wealth of talent that exists in the brand? There is perhaps no better time to debut him than right now, considering the void that's been left by the departure of Aleister Black. The WWE SmackDown roster needs a dark character and Karrion Kross could be just what the doctor ordered. And yes, he can always perform double duty, wrestling for NXT too. WWE legend Rey Mysterio is currently one half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions alongside his son Dominic Mysterio. Ever since the arrival of Dominic to WWE, fans have been waiting to see a feud and a match between him and his father. Many are speculating that once the two lose their tag titles, WWE could start a feud between them. However, recently speaking to Alistair McGeorge of the Metro, Rey Mysterio mentioned that there's no need for him to wrestle Dominic. He mentioned that it's a blessing for him to share these moments with his son before his retirement. He added that the idea of the two facing each other has been thrown down the trash. We actually talked about this a while back, when my son started to train. The more and more we got to spend time together in the ring and outside of the ring, it came to the point where me and my son were like, there's no need. The connection here is so beautiful, the love, more than father and son. I think we're like best friends. For the moment, there's no time for us to even be thinking, how would it be like to face each other? We're enjoying such a great moment right now within our personal lives, within our wrestling careers. For me, It's a complete blessing, before I end up retiring, to have been able to share these moments with my son. So that thought of possibly facing each other, I think was thrown down the trash a while back, said Rey Mysterio. Last week on Friday Night's SmackDown, Rey Mysterio lost to Universal Champion Roman Reigns in a Hell in a Cell match. The week prior, Reigns had viciously attacked both him and Dominic. We might see the latter step up to challenge the Tribal Chief soon, possibly even on the upcoming episode of SmackDown. Another possible direction for Rey Mysterio and Dominic could be to feud against Jimmy and Jay, with Jay and Jimmy challenging them for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. There have been rumors of WWE wanting to put the titles on Jimmy and Jay, and we might see the two teams face each other at WWE Money in the Bank 2021, or at SummerSlam. Comment down and let us know your thoughts on whether Rey Mysterio should have a feud against Dominic before his retirement. Over the past year, there has been a drastic change in Alexa Bliss' character in WWE. Ever since her interactions with The Fiend last year, she has added another twisted layer to her persona. Moreover, with The Fiend's indefinite absence from WWE, Bliss has taken over the role of the resident paranormal character on Raw. As of late, she has started to feel more and more comfortable displaying her powers on a weekly basis. Appearing on the latest episode of WWE's The Bump, WWE Hall of Famer Devon Dudley shared his thoughts on Alexa Bliss's current character. If the lights are going off and on, and pyro's happening, especially if she's in the ring looking at me and ain't flinching, that tells me right there, don't mess with Alexa, there's a power bigger than Alexa that's controlling the situation. Devon continued. I've seen The Exorcist more than once and twice. I know when stuff like that happens, bodies start to levitate and things happen. I'm out. This year's WWE Money in the Bank is set to take place at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. The pay-per-view will be the first major WWE event to take place in front of a live crowd since WrestleMania. WWE has already started building the card for the event via qualifying matches that took place earlier this week. The qualifiers for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match took place in the form of tag team matches. The first match featured Alexa Bliss tagging alongside Nikki Cross to face off against the team of Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. The match ended with Cross rolling up Baszler for the win, earning 2 spots for her team in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. The other 2 women who qualified for the Women's Money in the Bank match were Naomi and Asuka. Given the events of this week's Raw, WWE Money in the Bank is already shaping up to be a big event for WWE as the roster hits the road starting July 16th. Who do you think is going to win the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match this year? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Hey there, you are still here. Before you go, be sure to check out our second YouTube channel, which mainly focuses on all the latest and exclusive AEW news, rumors, theories and more. The link is in the description box below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Until then, see you in the next video.